Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on something practical, especially if you're a military family. It's about your BAH, your basic allowance for housing. How can it seriously boost your home buying power? We're looking specifically at Fort Bliss, using the info you sent us, the mission. Figure out how that BAH check isn't just, well, covering housing, but maybe paving the way to owning a home there.
Yeah, it's a fascinating angle because BAH, it's often just seen as rent money, right?
Yeah.
But thinking about it strategically, well, it can actually be a tool for building real financial stability, long-term stuff. So today, we'll use the average 2025 BAH numbers for Fort Bliss, and we'll show you exactly how those dollars could translate into buying a house.
Okay, let's get into those numbers then. The sources point to some clear 2025 averages for El Paso, Fort Bliss area, assuming dependence. So in E5, we're talking about $1,800 a month, roughly?
Right, $1,800.
For an E7, looks like about $2,100.
Mm-hmm, $2,100.
And an O3 gets projected around, what, $2,250 a month?
Yeah, about $2,250. And, you know, it's worth remembering, these numbers do change year to year.
Sure. But these give us a solid baseline for, well, for this deep dive.
Definitely. So, okay, how does that BAH turn into a mortgage payment you can handle? We're using some, let's call it ballpark mortgage math here.
Okay.
Based on maybe a 6.5% interest rate.
Yeah.
Pretty typical for a VA loan right now, especially with zero down.
Right. Zero down is key for VA loans.
It is. And then we're adding about 1.5% of the home price annually for property taxes and insurance.
Gotcha. PITI principal, interest, taxes, insurance.
Exactly. That 1.5% is a decent estimate for budgeting around Fort Bliss.
Okay, this is where it gets really practical.
Yeah.
Let's connect the BAH directly to the house price.
Yeah.
Example 1, that E5 getting a $200 BAH.
Mm-hmm.
With that math, what kind of house are they looking at?
Well, roughly you're talking maybe a $200,000 to $220,000 home, in that range.
Okay. And the monthly payment, PITI.
Comes out to around $750 a month, give or take.
Wow. So the $1,800 BAH pretty much covers it, like almost perfectly.
Yeah.
With a tiny bit left over.
It covers it, yeah. It really highlights how that allowance can directly fuel homeownership.
Okay, what about the E7? They get $2,100.
Right, $2,100. So their buying power bumps up. They're likely looking at homes in the, say, $250,000 to $270,000 range.
And the monthly PITI for that?
That'd be around $2,050. So again, it fits really snugly within their BAH.
Almost like you're house hacking the system, using the allowance to buy your own place.
That's a great way to put it. You're building your equity, not your landlord.
Okay, and the O3? $2,250 BAH.
So with that bit extra, their budget climbs to maybe the $290,000 to $310,000 mark.
Monthly payment around?
Around $2,200 for PITI.
So that gives them a bit more choice maybe, like a newer house further out near Horizon City or something bigger closer in.
Yeah, exactly. A bit more flexibility in location or maybe size or age of the home.
So let's step back. Why is this such a big deal? So what?
Well, think about the alternative, right? Renting. If you rent at Fort Bliss, you could easily be spending that same $1,800, $2,000, $2,200 every single month.
That just vanishes.
Poof, gone. Absolutely zero return on that money. It's just an expense.
So buying within your BAH means you're taking that same monthly expense and turning it into an investment. You're building equity. You own an asset.
Precisely. And here's the really interesting part for military families. The PCS.
Ah, the permanent change of station. Always looming.
Right. But if you own that home, when you PCS, you might have the option to rent it out.
So it potentially becomes an income source, even after you leave Fort Bliss.
It could, yeah. You continue building equity, maybe even generate cash flow. It turns that BAH into a long-term wealth builder.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be rethinking BAH. It's not just passive income for housing costs.
Not at all.
It can be an active tool, a direct path to buying a home and building equity.
Exactly. And maybe the provocative thought to leave you with is this. How could consistently using your BAH to buy rather than rent fundamentally change your family's financial future? Even with all the moves, how could that strategy build a kind of portable wealth, a foundation, over a military career?
That's definitely something powerful to chew on. Thinking about BAH as an investment strategy from the start, so consider how this might apply to your situation. Keep exploring those options. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive, and we'll catch you next time.